Low interest rates won't save home buyers. In a previous video, I discussed the disparity between record high appreciation and record low wage growth being the cause of unaffordability. And I wanted to follow up on that video with some data provided by one of my managers who sends me periodic reports, both regional and national. And I just wanted to share some national data with you because I don't know where you are watching this. So we'll just go with regional and national averages. And his report reads, this week, some interesting real estate news came out, and we thought it might be helpful to share some highlights with you. Here are the key takeaways from June's existing home sales report. Sales and prices, a changing dynamic. June saw a 5.4% drop in existing home sales, hitting an annual rate of 3.89 million. This marks a similar decline year over year. Despite this, the median existing home sales price rose by 4.1% to $426,900, a record high for the second month. This indicates a potential shift from a seller's market to a more balanced one as inventory levels rise and buyer leverage increases. Well, theoretically, that would indicate that. Ideally, buyer's leverage does increase, but prices actually have to come down to be within reach of real wages, which they're not on average. And while the data suggests a buyer's market, the job market is an employer's market, and laid off workers are being rehired at a discount. So that actually decreases leverage and buyers' purchasing power. The next section on his report is inventory insights, varied trends. So in the Northeast, sales dropped 2.1% from May and 6% year over year, with median prices up 9.7% to $521,500. In the Midwest, there was an 8% monthly sales decline and a 6.1% drop from last year. Median prices rose 5.5% to $327,100. So you're seeing these trends of an inverse relationship between rising home prices and decreasing sales. Should not be a surprise. In the South, sales decreased 5.9% from May and 6.9% year over year, with median prices modestly up by 1.7% to $373,000. In the West, sales dipped 2.6% month over month, remaining stable year over year. Median prices climbed 3.5% to $629,800 a year. The next section is investment opportunities, what to watch. If you're an active real estate investor, our advice is to stick with your current strategy and be patient. With homes staying longer on the market, there might be room to negotiate better terms. The next section, economic indicators, mortgage rates, and investor activity. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 6.77% as of mid-July, slightly down from earlier in the month. Notably, all cash sales, often driven by investors or some parents buying first-time homes for their kids. What can I say? Life ain't fair, folks. Made up 28% of transactions, with individual investors purchasing only 16% of their homes. As we navigate this evolving market, staying informed and adaptable will be vital to maximizing your investment returns. If you have any questions or need personalized advice, don't hesitate to contact us. So, 4 takeaways from this report for me are that prices on average are still up, sales are still down, and not even cash sales are saving the housing market. Cash sales are only about a quarter of the transactions, and if those were enough to turn the market around, we'd be seeing more sales, and they'll be turning the market around. And number four, the fourth takeaway, is that lower rates aren't even saving the housing market, because it would take near zero rates to overpower the current price to income ratios, even in the low PIR markets. And it's my goal to bring you homes with PIRs of 3 and under, and with purchase prices of $200,000 and under, requiring a $666,666 household income. So my manager is giving advice for investors, but that advice for investors is not the same for homeowners. Investors should look for cash flow and ROI. They should be asking, can the renters afford it? And homeowners should be looking for affordability. They should be asking, can the owners afford it? And a side note is that I don't recommend that buyers use FHA products, not just to avoid the PMI. That's just money that you're throwing away. But also having less than 20% equity in a house just to start is a little too close for comfort. It really puts you in the danger zone, especially if there's any kind of severe market shift. Let's say you bought a house for $250,000 and only put the minimum of 3% down. You'd only have $7,500 in equity. That is not a lot. And if you have to sell, absolutely have to, due to extraordinary circumstances during a market correction, before you have a chance to see even 3% appreciation, assume you'll pay 3% in realtor commissions and associated closing costs, and you'll be selling at a loss. If you ever had to sell, but you at least put down 20% before a significant market correction, you wouldn't have to bring cash to the table to sell your house, because your equity would cover it at least. It wouldn't be an ideal scenario, but you wouldn't lose your shirt if you put 20% down. So equity is always your safety net in a correction. But if you do decide to go with an FHA, the risk of being a victim in a market correction can be mitigated if you at least buy at the right price, which is why you need to get the price as low as possible, which is really not difficult right now because there are a lot of price decreases, even though on average prices have increased according to my manager's report. In the markets that I bring you, there are price decreases, and you can get great deals. I'm highlighting markets for middle class earners. And remember that when it comes to negotiating, get as much information as you can. Definitely invest $99 a month in PropStream. If you did that for 90 days, for 3 months, that's $300. If you can save $5,000, $10,000 on your final purchase price, $300 is it's a drop in the bucket. It's really nothing and completely worth it. So I appreciate my manager sending me these market reports, because when you read between the lines, you see that the truth is really in what the people are not saying, which is that average prices are way too high for current incomes, and not even rate decreases can fix this problem. Prices have to come down and wages have to go up if we are to see a middle-class home buying renaissance. So you can see that if you're willing to think outside the box, home ownership and a high quality of life are still within your reach in America, even in 2024. And I hope you enjoyed and got value from this video. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, and don't give up when you can get ahead.